What's up, y'all? We are back for the challenge episode 7, I believe this is. This one was kind of boring. This one might have been the most boring one yet. I don't think I had too many notes, but I'm going to get through it. If you're new here, please subscribe. Please do that. We're on the road to 10K now. We done hit 5K. We're on the road to 10K now. So please thumbs up the video. That's number 1. Drop your comments down below. That's number 2. Y'all already know interactions help push the video out. Bring more people to the channel so we can have more conversations. But enough of me talking. Let's get into this recap. All right, so they returned back to the house from the elimination last week. Josh is pretty much telling Corey that he's proud of him, and Corey don't trust Josh. He don't trust Josh. He knows the Air Force sitting there trying to rile him up. They pissing him off even more. He knows essentially the only person that he really trusts in that house is Nehemiah. That's his ace, boom, coon. So Rachel, we get a scene of her. She feels like Era 1 and 2 should have some sort of discussion to kind of strategize with placing targets to pretty much protect each other. This is a valid thing that I feel like her and Era 1, they should have been trying to pitch this. Like, really trying to pitch this. But Nehemiah is pretty much saying that's a conversation that should have been had before making such a big move that affects somebody that is in the alliance that you're claiming to try to create, which is a valid point too. But Rachel pretty much said there was no communication from you and there was none from me. So that can be true, but neither one of us were actively trying to pursue that. But at this point, Rachel knows I got to do something because these numbers is literally dwindling down and I got to do something. And I'm rooting for everyone. Naya, you already know Naya is my girl. Naya is my girl, but Naya disappointed me tonight. Ugh, so mad. But Rachel ends up saying, like, if Darrell and Tina have power in the challenge, Nehemiah and Aviv, they're gonna be fine. Like, essentially, like, let's hope that we can find a way to win. Like, try to give us some good energy. Try to help us out if you can. But regardless, if we get a chance to save y'all, we can throw y'all a bone and hope that y'all can do the same for us. But Nehemiah ends up saying, like, the only people he's really locked in with is Corey and Naya. Those are my two players this season that I want to do well. But Johnny ends up saying that Ryan performs the worst out of everybody on their team, and he's done the least, and he hasn't been targeted yet. So Johnny's pissed off about how well-connected Ryan is in his game. Sounds like you're a little bit butthurt that somebody's social game is a lot better than yours. But Tori ends up setting up a birthday party for Devin. Not going to lie to y'all, I did not write too much down about this because I do not care about Devin. Don't like him. Don't like him at all. But Devin and Michelle, they kissing and stuff. Michelle's talking about how she feels like they're Facebook official, even though they're going to do what's best for them and their teams and their eras, yada, yada, yada. They sing happy birthday. He blows out his candle, and Johnny throws cake in his face. The next day, Michelle is pretty much telling Tori that her and Devin are talking about making it official. Don't nobody give a fuck. Darrell and Derrick talking about their old bones are healing and stuff, and it's time to nut up. Like, let's do it. Stop acting like little bitches. Let's go. We get a scene of Nehemiah and Naya strategizing and everything as well because they're close. They're really, really tight. Michelle feels like it's best for Era 3 to win because she feels like if Era 3 wins, they'll save Era 4 because Era 3 and Era 4 are working together, which is why Era 1 is trying to work with Era 2. So she's pretty much thinking if Era 3 wins too, it's good for her because she fucking around with Devin and Naya's fucking around with Kylan, and the 4 of them are targets. So regardless, they should be saving each other. Well, Devin's not a target, but Jordan is a target. But essentially, Devin comes with Jordan and Naya, so you want to keep your alliances intact. But we get to the mission. They're at the top of this building, high up, 66 stories up. Darrell obviously is stressed out. Naya is stressed out. Them two, as we know, notoriously do not like heights. The challenge that they're playing is Leap of Faith. It's a timed event. They will each go one at a time. 4 of each team will run out, jump, and grab a flag. And they're collecting four flags in total, corresponding with these boxes that they have. The puzzle pieces are in the boxes. Everybody else who's not jumping is pulling the partners. And they're pulling them up to solve the puzzle. So when they jump off, they're pulling them back. Me, I'd have died because hanging over a building expecting your team to pull you back, that would trip me out because the way one of these went down, I'd have been tripped out. But Era 1, they only have 4 people, so only one person can do a puzzle. Only one person will do the puzzle. So they're at a disadvantage even more. But we find out a dropped flag is a 30-second penalty. A missed flag is 2 minutes. 2 flags is 5 minutes added. A red flag is 3 minutes deducted from their time. So you want to get the red flag, which is the bonus flag. But the 4 that were picked to go jump off were picked at random. So obviously, Darrell and Nia were tripping out. Era 2, and Darrell, he already knew he had to do it anyways, though. Because there's only 4 of them, and all 4 of them got to jump. But Era 2, Johnny got picked, Nehemiah got picked, Laurel got picked. She was excited. She wanted to get picked. And Aviv. So those are the 4 jumping for Era 2. Devin, Jordan, Tori, and Nia got picked to jump. And you already knew she's about to throw up. Era 4's was Josh, Jenny, Theo, and Casey's boring ass that we don't even know is there. Like, we're on episode 7 and she's barely even been shown. But got the audacity to start talking about Jenny being boring. Jenny actually has a storyline. You don't. But Era 4, they go up first. The first one to go is Josh's big goofy ass. And if y'all ain't watching my recap, episode 6, go watch it because I posted it late. I know some of y'all probably didn't see it, but go watch it. I wore his ass out in that in that recap. But Theo was pulling and everybody was still struggling, even with Theo's big ass, trying to struggle to get Josh's big ass up. But Theo gets his flag. He got the bonus flag as well, so they shaved 3 minutes off of their time, which is good because they needed it because they wasted all that time trying to get Josh up. But we'll get to that in the end to see if it actually did something. But the next team up was Era 2. They're pretty much killing it. Johnny, Laurel, Nehemiah, they was going with ease. Aviv, she's not scared of heights, but the flag is super duper far and she's super duper small. So everybody was like, okay, she's short and it's far and it's kind of built for people that are long and lengthy. But she goes and she gets up there and get that shit. Aviv still got that shit. And she's excited to show her kids that, like, even though things can be hard, it might not look like it's meant for you. As long as you try and you put your effort towards it, you're going to get it. But she flew out there. They flew through their puzzle. Johnny ended up saying, like, Derrick flew through it, but opposite of Ryan, who was doing absolutely nothing. Like, he's been on Ryan's head this whole episode, which is building up for their rivalry. But Era 1 goes. Tina goes up, grabs 2 flags, putting the pressure on Darrell because that just literally added time to their time. Darrell went out there. He had to go get the flag and the bonus flag. You already know Darrell does not like heights. He was tripping out. But he went out there and got both of them. Got the bonus too, which is needed because it's going to shave time off. But he does that. Era 1 was not doing too bad. Rachel went out there. Derrick went out there. They went out there and got theirs. They came back. Derrick's hopping around, grabbing the puzzle pieces to bring to Tina to now figure it out. Tina figured it out. They finished it. And she's like, okay, it is what it is. We're going to see what happens. Era 3, same thing. The only talking point I wanted to say was Nia. Nia was proud of Nia. She took a minute to get out there, but she got out there and got her shit. So good for her. Kylan was claiming that he nominated himself as a target. And the reason why he did that was because he felt like it was going to put Nia in a better position because basing it off of Era 3 and Era 4, they'll be able to save each other. Hopefully, if one of them doesn't come in last. We'll see. Corey and Avery, they were on the puzzles. I was proud of Corey because Corey, as we know, that is his weak spot. Like in them finals and stuff, that's where he always gives it back and always ends up losing. Anything else, physically, actively, endurance-wise, he got it. It's just that damn puzzle. But he finished it with Avery as well. They both finished that quick. Era 4, they lost the challenge. I was laughing. But Michelle and Kylan, they are automatically in the elimination. Rachel wants Era 2 to win because that can pretty much establish their alliance that they kind of are already trying to flirt with actually making official. But guess who won? Era 3. I was excited. I'm like, yes, Nia finally gets to have power. Nia and Jordan, they win. I'm happy she wasn't in the elimination, but I was like, Nia, come on. This is her 3rd mission win of her challenge career. She's been on, 4 seasons now? This is the 3rd. Nia's not good at missions. She's only good at eliminations, but she's not good at missions, but she got one. But she's considering what Kylan might want in the elimination, but she also wants to consider what's good for her team. They get back to the house. Michelle's pretty much strategizing with Olivia about the pros and cons of Tina and Aviv going in against her. Aviv's talking to Darrell pretty much like, what am I going to do? Like, I got a politic now. I ain't done this shit in so long. Like, what am I going to say to these people? But they all head out on the town. Olivia's telling Nia about how she's falling for Theo, which we don't really get to see much of their storyline either. Like, Theo's fell to the back. I saw an unseen clip of Theo online where CT was literally going in on his ass on that bus, and he sat there like a church mouse. I was so disappointed because Theo was actually giving it to Paulie earlier this season. But then when you got the nigga that's big and fat going off on your ass, you sitting back there not saying shit. Disappointing. But Jordan is talking to Corey, Nehemiah, and Darrell about having two people that are empowered to make the decision, a.k.a. Nia. This is a different Nia than what we all know. Like the old Nia from back in the day, she'd have done what she wanted to do. She would have made some moves. She would have made waves, not gave two fucks about what anybody else in the house had to say about it, which is what I wanted, but we'll get to it. He says she has a horse in the race as well, a.k.a. Kylan. Corey's trying to make sure that Nehemiah is safe. He hopes that that will work because him and Nia are also working with Nehemiah, and he wants to kind of like pull that angle. But Michelle, she's talking to Tina. Tina don't want to take out Michelle, essentially. She just don't want to get any elimination. That's just really what it is. And Michelle's saying she's trying to calm down and stay calm before avoiding, to try to avoid from spiraling. She then talks about how her brother has had like a traumatic brain injury, and him watching the show with her family as well, it makes it easier for him and their family. So like her being on the show as long as she can be, it makes it easier for her brother because he gets to watch her. Good. Corey, Jordan, and Devin, they're pretty much talking about the target rotation situation with their era. Corey obviously is pissed off because Devin is his turn to go in and be a target. Devin ain't trying to do it. I don't blame him for not trying to do it, but I'm also on Corey's side because, like, if we're going to do this, you're going to do it. And if you don't do it, I'm going to have a problem with it, and I'm going to address it, which is what he does next week as well. But Devin's pretty much saying Michelle's not going to say his name. Corey is rightfully pissed off, like I said, because he's trying to find his way around it, which I can't fault Devin for it because he's well-connected, even though I just don't like him. I want him to go down there, and I want him to go home. But Nia's talking to Rachel about how she's seeing this as she's big on the underdogs. Like, Era 1 is the underdog team. She's an underdog, so she wants to see underdogs win. I'm like, okay, Nia, play the right hand and, like, try and keep the team that's going to be easier for you to beat. Like, start trying to knock off these numbers on that other side. But Rachel ends up saying that it would mean a lot if Tina and Darrell got this one off. Like, give them this one night off. Nia's talking about how her and Darrell and Tina had kind of created great bonds in Croatia, which I think was for War of the Worlds. Rachel's pretty much trying to work with Nia. She's pretty much trying to work Nia at this point, trying to do her job to make sure that her team is all still there next week. But she pretty much says, like, if she was Kylan, I wouldn't want to go up against Darrell. I would. Darrell's not the Darrell that used to be Darrell. Like, Darrell is a different Darrell. Like, Darrell, he was my favorite player of all time as a kid. He ain't that same person. He's an easy win if you ask me. But Nia ends up saying no matter which way you cut it, she's going to risk somebody that she cares for in this game because she got friends on all sides. Nia is well connected. That is true. But Rachel ends up saying, like, you got to get the numbers down. Like I just said, you got to get the numbers down. Like, we only have 4 people. Like, getting us out, okay, what's that going to do for you? Like, you still got to beat these other people. Nia's pretty much saying, yeah, that's the natural thing to do, which is pretty much to finish y'all's era off. So we get to the deliberation. Not much really was said. Nehemiah and Aviv are pretty much kind of echoing, like, whatever decision y'all make, it'll be best for y'all, and we'll respect it. It won't be personal. Nehemiah knows Nia's not going to vote. She's not going to say his name, essentially. That's what I gather from that. Darrell is pretty much asking for a break because Era 1 is hurting, and they just want a break. And they will remember it. Tina has a special reason. She said, I don't want to be like this because I don't typically play the personal route. But she gets emotional in her confessionals because we know she's Vietnamese. They are in Vietnam. Her mother escaped from Vietnam from the war. And the fact that she's able to come out there and be in Vietnam during the 40th season of this show, with her being an OG, kind of a trailblazer on this show, it just was special to her. She wants to be there. She wants to win. Like, and I wanted her to win. I felt so bad. I'm like, damn. I love Tina. I love me some Tina. I love the OGs, but I really love Tina. But Kylan, he's talking about, I don't care which one of these two niggas go down here because I'm going to still beat them both. I'm hungry. Like, they done won before. I haven't. I want to win. Like, essentially, I don't give a fuck who you put down here. I'm going to still take them out. But he's pretty much talking about how he went from being a nonverbal kid because we know he has autism And he's now overcoming all that stuff. So, like, he nothing can stop Kylan at this point. But Nia pretty much says, like, regardless of the situation, she loves each of them. Jordan cosigns. Moving on. Next day, they done activated Rachel. Rachel hide. Rachel and Derrick sitting there talking about, like, what strategy is being taken into account when you're literally trying to take out a team of 4. Like, when there's full teams over here, you got Era 2 right here, who is the strongest team that's going to give y'all the most competition. Why not knock them off? I'm like, exactly, that's valid. But Nia and Jordan, they come in the room with Tina, who's laying in her bed talking to Rachel, and Nia comes in and lays next to her. We already knew what was coming. Pretty much letting her know that you and Darrell will be our vote to go into the elimination. And Tina says, what the fuck? And Jordan says, as much as I love and respect y'all, it just doesn't make sense for me in this game. How does that not make sense for you in this game? But okay. Because, like, Jordan, you can beat every single one of them men in there. Like, if anything, I'd have stuck my out and been like, boom, suck it. Like, I can beat all of y'all. Like, I don't need to have connections with Era 2 and Era 4. Fuck y'all. Like, I can literally work with these people over here that I know I can beat. Like, I know I can beat. I can beat them, but I can beat y'all too. So why not just kick y'all off? Like, that's what I would do. But Tina ends up saying that she loves Nia, and Nia calls her Auntie T, so she understands her close relationship with Nehemiah, but she also feels there's more to the story because she knows that Jordan has a lot of pull in the house, particularly over Nia. That is not a fucking lie. And you already know I can't stand it. I can't stand how much he has this pull over Nia now. Nia, with her whole rebrand, she is super duper close to Jordan. And I can't stand it. Oh my God, I can't stand it. But Tina's pissed off, rightfully so. She started packing her shit. She threw a suitcase up against the mirror at one point. Darrell's pretty much saying, like, all this wasted energy, like, focus on the elimination. That is true. Focus on the elimination, but I don't blame her. I'd have been going off too, and she did. Tina went off. We ain't seen Tina get hot like this in a minute. But she said, I thought y'all were like playing a bowl game talking to Jordan and Nia. That's a valid point. Jordan says it's strategy. She said, I ain't heard no strategy yet, so start talking. Tell me what the strategy is. And Nia says, like, I had to vote to honor my brother, a.k.a. Nehemiah. I had to do him a solid. Tina says, like, that's low-hanging fruit. It's a weak-ass move. It is. It is a weak move. And Jordan ends up saying, like, we're choosing a team up with a stronger team. That's essentially what it is. Okay, like, why would you want to team up with a stronger team? Get this. Why don't you want to be the stronger team? Be the only team there that's strong. Like, come on. But they go back and forth. Tina's going in on his ass. Says, I think it's an excuse to fuck over a friend. Nia gets up and walks off. I think she was getting emotional. Tina is going in on Jordan. Like I said, Rachel's trying to calm her down. She ain't going for none of that shit. She's like, I'm mad. Like, what? Fuck y'all. And then she said, y'all some weak ass motherfuckers. And I was waiting on her to say, and y'all little bitches, because y'all already know that that one like iconic line that she had back in the day. Y'all some little punks and y'all some little bitches. This is some punk ass. This is a weak ass move. Tina is hilarious, and I love her to death. But Rachel is talking to Derrick, Aviv, and Ryan, saying how pissed she is because it makes zero sense for them to choose them to go in. Don't blame her, and I don't disagree with her. She says that her and Derrick need to stop going around telling everybody that their era is weak and we're not competitors, because essentially at this point they're using that against us. Like, the 4 of us here are strong. She ain't lying. She said, I'm going to try and win every single challenge. I'm in the best shape of my life. I'm not about to keep dumbing myself down, making myself look like I ain't shit. Like, that's essentially what it is. And I ain't mad at her. Keep talking like that, Rachel. But Ryan and Johnny, they start going in on each other. Not really much was really being said besides what I already told y'all earlier. So we're moving past that. We get to the elimination. It is what we expected. Tina versus Michelle. Darrell versus Kylan. It's called Boxsterphobia. There's 2 structures with sliding doors and rods. The goal is to escape. They'll be pushing and pulling poles out of the way to go panel for panel. On every door, there's numbers to crack a code. And whoever cracks it wins. Boring elimination, if you want to ask me. It was Tina versus Michelle. They were pretty neck and neck until the end. And Tina ends up getting eliminated. I was pissed. Darrell versus Kylan. Who the fuck y'all think won that one? Kylan won that one. No shock there. Like I said, it was a boring elimination. I wasn't really here for that. Kylan and Michelle get to choose their targets. Era 1, obviously, Derrick and Rachel are the only two options up there. So there's the only two men and women, the only man and woman up there. Era 2, Nehemiah chooses Cara Maria because he's closer. No, Kylan chooses Cara Maria because he's closer to Laurel than he is her. Derrick volunteers. Did Derrick volunteer? I think no. Michelle chose Derrick because she's cool with Johnny, and Ryan is her birthday twin, as she said. Johnny's pissed off because Ryan escaped yet again. And this just went off, but I don't even care. And Era 3, she asked if anybody wanted to volunteer. Corey is waiting on Devin to finally say something. He doesn't. And she obviously ain't going to choose him. And, of course, she chooses Corey, and I rolled my eyes. Avery raises her hand. No volunteers for Era 4. Jenny's pissed off because she gets voted yet again. And Theo takes one for the team. Next week, Corey's going off on Derrick, and I can't fucking wait to watch and see what this is. Corey's going off on Derrick. He's going off on Josh and Devin. I think I saw Corey is pissed, and Corey is going off, and I can't wait to see it. But please thumbs up the video. As you see, my ring light went off. That's why you can barely see me right now, and I don't give a fuck. But thumbs up the video. Drop the comments down below. Subscribe if you're new. Next week, hopefully, I'll have more energy because hopefully the episode will be a lot better. But I'll see y'all then. Peace.